Hey y'all, this is Ryan with Evolve Minute. Tonight's discussion is personal. I want to talk about weight loss, but I don't want to turn it into some polished motivational speech where everything sounds easier than it is, because it's not easy. If weight loss was just knowing what to do, most of us would already be where we wanted to be. Everybody knows that water is better than soda. Everybody knows that walking helps. Everybody knows that vegetables are probably better than eating something out of a bag with a cartoon Cheeto on it. Knowing isn't always the problem. Living it is the problem. I've always been a big guy. I'm about 6'2", and even when I was younger and in better shape, I was still around 190. That felt normal for my body. That felt like me. My ideal weight is probably somewhere between 190, maybe 200 pounds. And I haven't seen that in about 20 years. Right now, I'm 280 pounds, which is the heaviest I've ever been in my life. I'm not saying that to shame myself. I'm saying it because I need to be honest. And if I'm asking people to evolve with me, I can't only share the parts that sound strong. I have to share the parts where I'm still working. And this is one of them. My relationship with food has always been complicated. I love food. I really do. Food is comfort. Food is memory. Food is family. Food is a good meal after a long day when you finally get to sit down at the table and breathe. But when food becomes your main source of comfort, it starts doing a job it was never meant to do. That's where I've gotten myself into a little bit of trouble. Sometimes I eat because I'm hungry, but sometimes I eat because I'm tired, or maybe I'm stressed, bored, or because I had a good day and want to reward myself, or maybe because I had a bad day and I want something to take off the edge. I don't think that I'm alone in that. A lot of people have an emotional relationship with food. They just don't always call it that. For me, there's another layer to this too. I've had texture issues with certain foods since I was young. Some healthier foods are hard for me to eat, not because I don't understand they're good for me, not because I'm trying to be difficult. Texture makes me genuinely feel certain foods are impossible. So naturally, I tend to stay close to comfort foods. Foods that feel familiar, foods that don't surprise me, foods that feel safe. That doesn't mean my diet's a total wreck, but it does mean I've built patterns around what feels easy. And easy can slowly become expensive. Not always financially, though let's be honest, drive-through math gets very rude very fast. I mean expensive physically, mentally, emotionally. It costs energy, it costs confidence, it costs sleep and mobility, it costs the feeling that you're actually in control of your own body. And that's where this became serious for me. I recently started taking Zepbound under medical guidance to help with weight loss. And I want to be honest about that because I don't want to act like this is just willpower and inspirational background music. One of the reasons I'm on it is because I have severe obstructive sleep apnea. That matters. Sleep apnea isn't just annoying snoring, it affects the rest of your breathing, your recovery, your energy, and honestly, your ability to function. When your sleep is broken, whole days start with disadvantages. You wake up already tired, then you are expected to make choices, disciplined, while your body feels like it's running on a half dead battery. So, yes, I'm using a medical tool. I'm not ashamed of that, but I'm also not going to use it as an excuse to avoid the work. Zepbound may help with appetite. It may help me feel full sooner. It may quiet some of the food noise, but it does not fix my habits for me. It doesn't take the walk. It doesn't choose a healthier meal. It doesn't deal with emotional reasons I eat. It doesn't build discipline while I sit back and watch. It's a tool, a helpful one, hopefully, but it's still a tool. And I know from experience what happens when you remove one habit without replacing it with something better. I smoked from the time I was 16 until April 1st, 2023. That's when I quit. And I'm proud of that. I always will be. I'll always be proud that I quit smoking after many years. And that's no small thing. Smoking becomes part of your routine. Coffee, driving, stress, anger, boredom. Need a break? Need a reason to step outside, check the weather? It's a good time. When I quit, I did something good for my health, but I didn't have a strong enough replacement plan. So food stepped in, and it wasn't dramatically, it wasn't overnight. It was very subtle. A bigger snack here, handful of Doritos there, comfort meal, eating when I was really just looking for relief, if I was just walking through the kitchen. 3 years later, I can see a pattern clearly. I replaced one coping mechanism with another, as you do, and that's uncomfortable for me to admit, but it's also very useful because now I know the next phase can't just be about losing weight. It has to be about learning what I'm doing to when I reach for food. Am I actually hungry, or am I just trying to calm down? Am I tired? Am I rewarding myself? Am I avoiding something? That little pause before eating is going to matter for me, not because I need to overanalyze every bite like I'm conducting a congressional hearing on tortilla chips. Really? Come on, let's come up with something better than that. Not because I need to overanalyze every bite, but because I need to stop living on autopilot. Autopilot is getting me nowhere. That's how habits keep winning. In this journey, this experiment, for me, is about getting my control back. Not control in a harsh way, not punishment, not starving myself all day and pretending it's discipline. That usually turns into late night kitchen crime scene. I know that because I have murdered a kitchen. I want something sustainable. I want to eat in a way I can actually live with. I want to move my body without turning into some huge production. I want to make better choices without acting like one imperfect meal ruins everything. Because that's the trap. People mess up once and then they quit completely. They didn't eat something they planned on eating, and suddenly the whole day is ruined. Then the whole week is ruined. Then they say, I'll start again Monday. And then Monday becomes next month because, you got to start on the first. You don't want to start in the middle of the month. I've done that before. This time, I don't want to be dramatic about it. I want to be consistent. If I mess up, I move on. If I have a bad meal, the next choice still counts. If I miss a walk, I'm not going to turn that into a week of sitting still. That's a kind of discipline I'm after. Practical discipline, not perfect discipline. And movement has to become a part of it. I'm not saying I'm about to become a gym influencer. Anybody that knows me knows that's not me. Nobody needs me filming squats under purple lighting with caption about destroying weakness. It's all right. For me, movement is more about taking a walk, stretching, stairs, yard work, parking a little farther away, or something simple enough that I'll actually do it. Parking farther away is probably the best. Park up or down a level, take the stairs, makes a big difference in your day. Because when you're tired all the time, starting small is not a weakness. Starting small is how you start at all. And that's the honest place I'm in. I'm overweight. I have severe obstructive sleep apnea. I'm taking Zepbound with medical guidance. I have texture issues with food. I have emotional patterns around eating. I quit smoking and food became the replacement, and that's the full picture. And I think sharing the full picture matters because people love to simplify health. They'll say, just eat less, or just exercise, or just take the medication, have more discipline. But most people's bodies are not that simple, and their lives aren't that simple either. Weight can be tied to stress, trauma, sleep, medication, income, schedule, family, mental health, cravings, shame, and habits that have been around for decades. So if you're on your own journey, don't let anybody reduce you to a number. But also don't use complexity as an excuse to stay stuck. That's the balance I'm trying to find. I don't want to shame, but I also don't want denial. I don't want obsession, but I do want discipline. I don't want to hate my body, but I do want to take better care of it. And that's what I mean by the weight that feels like freedom. For some people, their perfect weight is not the smallest they can possibly be. It's the weight where their body functions better, where they sleep better, where they feel stronger, where they can move through life without feeling like everything takes so much effort. And for me, I think that's around 190 or 200. Maybe I get there. Maybe someday my body teaches me something along the way, and that's the number changes. I'm open to that. If life wants me to know that the number changes, fine, the number changes. But what I'm not open to anymore is pretending that I'm happy being exhausted. I want more energy. I want better sleep. I want to feel comfortable in my own skin again. Now, I want to stop using food to answer every emotion. I want to build a better life, not just chase a lower number. And I may not talk about this journey every day. Evolve Minute with Ryan is not becoming a daily weigh-in show. Nobody needs me stepping on the scale every morning like I'm waiting for a jury verdict. But you'll see the changes. That's why I'm bringing it up. You'll see the effort. You'll see me talk about it when it matters. And maybe it'll help somebody else to be honest too. So let me ask you, what weight are you done carrying? Maybe it's physical weight. Maybe it's exhaustion. Maybe it's shame. Maybe it's a habit that you keep defending even though it keeps hurting you. Maybe it's the belief that you've been this way for a long time and that's just who you are now. It's not. You can start again. Start with the truth. Start with your doctor. Start with one better choice. One walk. Just up the block. Just down the street. Even just down your driveway a few times. Start with drinking more water. Start with pausing before the old habit takes over. Don't just start hating yourself, please. That road doesn't lead anywhere good. You know it and I know it. And I'm just beginning this journey, and I'm beginning it honestly. Not perfectly, honestly. And for me, that's enough to take the next step. Be the spark. Ignite change. Evolve 1 minute at a time.